Good morning. Yeah, it's only 11 o'clock, so it's still considered morning or mid morning, however you want to put it. Oops, sorry, ting ting. It is June 13th. Um, I got plenty of sleep last night, but I woke up cold as can be. I don't know why. There's some days I wake up, I'm like, really cold, and there are some days I'm fine. Today was one of those. It was for some reason I just felt very cold. Um, that in fact, I woke up with a headache. I still have it and back pain. I think the headache is because of the way it feels. It's sinus type issues, which tis the season for people with allergies. Um, seems like the warmer it gets right now with varying humidity factors, there's more pollen or things in the air that that factor with all the cleaning and rearranging and dusting and all that fun stuff that we've been doing. It's not a surprise that my allergies aren't bugging me. My throat, my nose, my eyes, headaches due to sinus pressure. It's what happens when you have not done any major cleaning projects like dusting, especially in your home, and then there's areas in a home that are hard to get to for dusting, even if you do dust on a regular basis. Areas like behind the TV, behind the couch, behind the bed, areas that are basically either hard to reach or just you don't even. A lot of times it's like, oh, yeah, I should actually dust behind that TV every so often. Otherwise you'll get a nice thick layer of dust, and the dust is not good for anybody because it can contain all kinds of allergens or health issues. Um, but that's for the people in the house. But what we don't realize a lot of times is if you don't dust around, behind, under, over your electronics, that dust does have an ill effect on the electronics itself. The layer of dust can cause overheating. The dust getting into the vents, into the actual interior of the electronic component can cause other issues internally, overheating, signal degradation, all kinds of different issues. Wonder why Americans throw away so many still usable electronic devices due to the factor that all it really needs is to be taken to your local. Hopefully, you have a local electronics specialist who will take it into the back area of their shops. And a lot of times, they have areas that are specially designed to be clean room environments. So basically, when they take the dusty item in there and they dismantle the unit so they can clean up the interior, the room that they're in has a special vacuum system that keeps the dust particles and whatnot from getting back into the TV once it's been sprayed off with a can of air sprayer. Those you can go to like Sonic store and buy these little cans of pressurized air to dust off your keyboard and whatnot, so you're not using wet dust or anything that could cause a static electrical current that could also hamper with your digital devices. Yeah. Um, Granted, yesterday when we took our old laptop and CPU to the special e-dump e-recycling location, I saw so many old electronic pieces, old TVs and whatnot. Yes, they were probably out of date, and people just said, recycle it. I don't know what to do. By the way they were dumping stuff, I don't think they actually refurbish it. I think they actually take it, dismantle it, crush it, basically turn it back into scrap metal or scrap components, and recycle them into plastic tables, plastic chairs, whatever they can use the recycled plastic and metal and whatnot for. Who knows? But as hot as it was yesterday and the way they were just throwing them into bins, I don't think they're going to refurbish them to be reused at schools or whatnot. So I have no real idea what they're going to do with the recycled components. I just know it felt good. It felt good to get it out of the house. It felt good to basically finally be out from underneath foot and just done with. Oh, crapola! I could have taken that with me. I don't know if I'll ever use that. I have an old air purifier. It's a big, bulky unit, which I should have remembered to take that with me because I got a smaller desktop unit that does almost the same thing as that, but in much more quieter fashion than that thing does, because that thing was old and loud, and yeah, I would not be able to use it while trying to do a video because of just the background sound from it. Basically, it sounds like an oversized vacuum cleaner. But anyhow, other than waking up a little groggy, cold, and sore, so far today seems like a good day. I've already read a couple comments from my last video that posted late last night, unfortunately, because I was having technical difficulties. And, well, let's just say this much. Most of the comments were well-to-do and whatnot. There was one, maybe two comments that I was like, don't really understand what this person's talking about because I don't remember what exactly she's trying to pinpoint. So hopefully that gets clarified. If not, I'm going to probably do something I don't want to do, but I'm just a little leery of this person because she's also on my wife's channel. And let's just say I'm not exactly happy with some of the comments on my wife's channel from both individuals. I'm not going to give names. That's not important. What's important is the factor that I see you and I am listening, but I'm not exactly happy with what I'm hearing. So we need to try to find out what the problem is and see if we can resolve the issue. Because my new life is all about resolving things and not just letting it go or throwing it to the wayside. Anyhow, yep. Good old allergies. Anyhow, let's get to the next, let's finish up the first section I was reading yesterday from American Cozy. And that section was where to begin. Now, yesterday I had left off with, how to wrangle your cords and your power strips. She had some great ideas with that, and I think that we're slowly doing that here as we rearrange furniture and clean stuff up. And I tell you what we did yesterday, we were finishing up the decor in the living room. We're not 100% done with the decor because we still have the fireplace area and my computer hutch area. But what we've done so far has been really great. We've downsized a lot of the throw pillows, and I haven't even gotten to that part, let alone talk to Jerry about it. I just happened to mention that why do we need 3 throw pillows on a chair when that many throw pillows makes it very difficult to sit on those chairs. Now, Jerry Ann pointed out that we have we have a family member and a friend, my Aunt Sue, who comes and visits every so often, especially during the holidays. She needs at least one throw pillow behind her back, otherwise her legs are dangling instead of bent properly at the 90-degree angle that most legs are supposed to be bent at when sitting at chairs. And the other one is her friend Sharon from Florida, who's a little short. Not making fun of short people, but she's shorter. She's below average height. Let's put it that way. When she sits on the chairs that we have, even don't matter what chair it is, she looks like J. Ann put it, Edith Ann from an old, I can't even remember what show it was, but it was an older show from the 70s, I think it was. But yeah, if she does not have at least 1 to 2 pillows behind her back, her legs are like this, and they don't bend properly. They can't bend like this. They can like do something like this, but it hurts. So she has to have at least 2 throw pillows. And I said, how about this? Well, actually, I didn't say nothing, but Jerry came up with the idea, I should say. Let's go ahead and put like 1 regular throw pillow, then we have these small round gray ones on the chairs, on the 2 chairs, 3 chairs that are going to be out in the living room. And then we have a cubby, basically, underneath a space underneath the table. Let's put 3 of the extra throw pillows down there. People can see them. They're visual. They can see the actual pillows, but they're not like out in the open on the chairs, making the chairs look over cluttered. So even though it's been difficult, we do make our compromises. Oh, no, wait a minute. I did read this page. I did read that part about, okay, I'm on this page. I'm sorry. But anyhow, that's what we... Gosh, darn it. Post-nasal drip in the morning, I swear. Anyhow. Let me go into this part now. This next one is add a vase of flowers or a plant. Now, I think I've talked about this one before. She talks about bringing in like fresh cut flowers once a week or every so often to brighten up the house, give it some pleasant smell. The good thing about flowers and other kinds of plants, they will help with the pollutants in the air. But it says, I underlined this section down here. If real flowers and live plants are too much upkeep for you, invest in high quality flux flowers and plants for a few of your rooms. Just make sure a few of your rooms boast the real thing. So basically what she said in here, I didn't read the whole thing, is in every room, she actually states in this, in every room, add a plant or a flower or something that will help basically keep the room oxygenated. Now, for people like me who don't have a green thumb, I'm not really good at taking care of plant life or anything like that. I'm not a gardener. I'm not a big botanist, whatever plant person. She says, have in every room at least a faux or almost realistic looking plant of one form or another. And then try to bring in into 1 or 2 of your rooms, a couple of your rooms, the real thing, the real deal. So I was thinking, maybe I need to go and research to see what kind of plants I can possibly bring into my house that are very low maintenance or easy to take care of. Now that I don't have to worry about going to work for at least another month or 2, at least until August now, that we've sat down and figured out our money for July. Yes, people are like, but wait a minute, it's just barely turning June. It's the second week of June. How do you have July figured out? Well, we're able to do that. We're able to look at our month ahead, not just the month we're in, but the next month, and see if we're going to be able to afford everything without having to worry about me going back to work. And by the way, that's mostly on Jerry now, because I'm like, you're the one taking care of the finances. You're the one taking care of the money. You need to let me know when or if I'm going to have to look for another job in the next couple weeks, for the next month, or however long. And no, we're not getting any extra money from unemployment or PPP or anything like that. What's going to cover us right now is our tax return is going to cover us, plus what we're making on our YouTube channels. You know, simple as that. We're smart with our money now. We're monitoring what we buy, how much we spend, what's left in the bank after the bills, the whole 9 yards. So we're being smart with our money now. Anyhow, here's the other one. Oh, this is what I was talking to Jerry Ann about. I wanted to read to her. Get rid of the grays. As popular as gray is in some interior decorating circles, it has a reputation of being cold, unemotional, and even depressing color. It's not the kind of color that creates a warm, inviting, light-filled space. Science supports this. Research at the University Hospital of South Manchester in the UK asked 323 people to describe their mood using a color. 30% of people with anxiety chose gray to describe their state, while more than 50% of depressed respondents chose gray. So for a lot of people, gray is a depressing color. I kind of beg to differ, because depending on the tone of gray, because there are a spectrum of gray. You have light gray all the way through to dark gray. This color in this wall is a gray. Most of the walls in this house are gray, except for maybe 1 or 2 rooms. Well, guest room, craft room, and part of mom's area is gray. Now, I think the color spectrum depends on the person. Now, I talked about in the past that I was, in my teens and early 20s, I was a very dark, moody person, filled with a lot of anger, hatred. Well, not really hatred. Anger, depression, anxieties, a lot of things that occur with having multiple family members die and you go into manic depression. Or as the psychiatrist said, manic depression with suicidal tendencies, as well as a possibility of homicidal. Yeah, that's how bad I was in my teens. Thank goodness I came out of that, a little bit on the brighter side. I had books like Mary Summer Rain's books. I had my various studies into various different religions to understand the universe around me and try to get a better hold of why. Why do we have to have certain things happen at certain times in people's lives? The answer still is unknown, because, well, when you're trying to understand the workings of the universe created by whatever forces, whether you want to go scientific or religion, it's a difficult thing. But I find this particular color of gray, it's a lighter color gray. It does reflect the light coming from outside. It does actually kind of make the room a little bit brighter when the lights are on. Now, I understand a lot of people say, well, darker colors absorb light, and light is considered good. Unless you have my eyesight and you see better at nighttime or in low light situations. Even though my eyes are getting bad when it comes to reading. Like, my book right now is completely blurry. I can make out lines and whatnot, but I can't make out words. The camera is that right there in front of me is somewhat blurry, but I make out enough details to know what's going on. I think that's just a combination of poor habits and genetics. Genetics plays a role in a lot of things. But see, when the doctors used to ask me to describe my moods, I never used color because color didn't seem to be an important schematic in my life. But yeah, a lot of people say gray is not exactly a positive color. I think it depends on the darkness of the gray. Like slate gray, that's a color. It's also a natural color. Some people in the Hagee circle would say gray or natural colors like slate gray or light gray, or even dark gray is a natural color tone. I think it matches well with the color of the furniture because most of the furniture in here is basically of a dark wood color, mahogany or oak or cherry wood. They're all natural wood colors. But anyhow, the next one she talks about is paint. This one I can't understand, why would anybody do this, but paint your walls light yellow. And in the above study, guess which color happy people most often use to describe their mood? You guessed it, yellow. No. I don't know. In Denmark, pale yellow walls are a favorite way to bring warmth, happiness, and light into a room. If you can't get excited about warm pale yellow, I don't think I could, as opposed to icy or lemon yellow walls, then try a warm white. Warm white, just to make sure the shade has no gray undertones. Again, color schematic, I'm not a big knowledge person on that. I cannot see me living in a room that looks like yellow and reminds me of egg yolk. I guess because of the factor when you've gotten hit a couple times with raw eggs, the color yellow kind of makes you go nope, nope, nope. Pale or a warm white. I lived in plenty of houses with warm white wall coloring, especially in Europe, and the only downside of that in my brain, and it's a minor downside as long as you keep your house clean, is it shows dirt, nicotine, fingerprints, grease stains, things of that nature a lot more easily. That's why I prefer slightly darker colors. Now, if we can paint our walls a like light blue, sky blue, a natural color, or just keep our walls as clean as possible, I don't think I would mind white. Lemon, maybe lemon. Maybe lemon, because if I can keep the smell at the house, if the walls look like lemon, a shade of lemon, and I can keep an air freshener or a scent in the house that smells like lemons, that might feel a little bit better. But then she also goes down here to say, limit colors to 2 or 3 shades. 2 to 3, yeah, limit colors to 2 to 3. Color adds a generous pop of excitement to your room. But too much color in a room can be distracting rather than cozy and calm. Find a great neutral color such as beige, tan, off-white, or pale yellow, and accent it with one or two mute or bright shades. So basically she's saying if you're gonna go in and paint a room and you want to have like multicolored, like let's say your base coat is beige, tan, white, or off yellow, and then you want to add stripes or strips or little areas of a different color, you know, you can add one or two muted or brighter shades of whatever. Like let's say you paint your room tan and you wanted to have some pop here and there, and you like every so often you add a square or a shape or a strip of burgundy or some other color that's either a little bit brighter or muted in the room. I've seen plenty of rooms that their base coat is white and then they have like a pop of tan or a pop of burgundy or a pop of some other color that is a little bit brighter than the white, but it adds a little like, ooh, look, it's a festive room. Especially when you get into the some of the people who want to live Hagey, but they also want to have that vibrant California style pizzazz. Hey, you can do that. Just, you know, don't overdo it. You know, have your base coat of where the wall is going to be, and then have one or two other colors throughout the room. Okay. This next one, I have to read to Jerry because she's got that. I can't fault Jerry for wanting to have a wall of various pictures from family and friends, like basically a collage of pictures of sorts. But this one I really want to read to her. Not because of the factor of I think she's overdoing it in some places, but because sometimes it just looks a little cluttered. It is titled Use Art Wisely. Excuse me. Art is in the eye of the beholder, meaning anything from a twisted log of driftwood to a barbed wire sculpture can be art. Yeah, I understand that. Some people like Van Goghs. Some people like what's that modern day artist? I can't remember what his name is, but he has a funny story. The story goes that this particular artist who was known for just like beautiful artwork, but he was a bit of a I don't even know how to describe him, but one of his pieces of artwork was put in a specialty frame that he had designed, and they went to go put it up in auction. And he basically said he never wanted any of his artwork to be put up in auction to be sold for mega money. He wanted it to stay in an art gallery to basically, you know, make people happy. He didn't want it locked up in somebody's private vault or whatnot. So the day it went up on auction, and right before it started to go on auction, the picture frame that he had designed was a shredder. So as soon as they tried to put it up on auction, the painting just shredded itself. It literally rolled down into the shredder, and out came the slivers of the portrait. And I was kind of like, whoa. That painting probably could have sold for thousands, if not millions of dollars. And he was like, nope. It stays in a gallery, or it's gone type situation. Or was that a special effects in a movie? I don't know. But anyhow, I can't think if that was a movie or a real thing. I read about it somewhere. Did not watch a movie about it. I read it somewhere. I don't know. I don't remember. It was a while back ago. But anyhow, people like different types of art. Van Gogh, sculptings by Da Vinci. Was it Da Vinci who did the David? the famous sculptor. I don't know. But anyhow, let me get back to this and not worry about all that fun stuff because I'm getting off track. If your goal is to infuse your home with a welcoming environment of warmth, light, and comfort, how you decorate your home matters. Art, no matter how skillful or brilliant, try portraits. I'm just going to skip that part because I'm having trouble reading all of a sudden because my brain's just... But anyhow, what she's trying to say is don't overdo it. You can have you can have sculptures, portraits, paintings of landscape, art of one form or another, anything that's basically for a cozy home. Choose uplifting, comforting art, be that landscape, portraits of family members, children, sculptures, or anything else that makes one feel good. Be careful, however, not to go overboard. Less art is definitely more. Too many things on the wall or too many things on shelves create a cluttered look rather than a peaceful vibe. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly because when we first moved in and Jerry did her gallery wall, as she calls it, of various pictures of friends, family, and such, and all that, the whole wall was practically covered. You could barely see the wall behind it. And at first I was like, this is too much. And she's like, well, this is what I want. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But to me, it's too much. So, I mean, I love her. I love our family. I love our friends. I don't fault her for wanting to have pictures of family and friends on the wall to basically say, hey, look, we value your presence in our life, so we're going to have pictures of you all over the place. But yeah, it's a little much, but she's talking about trying to downsize it and rearrange it and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, I'm aboard, but how are we going to cover up all the holes that we put in that wall? She's like, oh, we can just put spackle in there and then a little paint, touch-up paint to put over it. And I'm like, okay. We try to share each other's visions. We try to work together on what we like, what we don't like, things of that nature. So we're working on it. Here we go. Next one is choose furniture in the same color. Walk into a living room with a green sofa, a maple wood end table, a black chair, a blonde wood coffee table, and a tan love seat. What do you have? Visual overload. Limiting furniture color is an important and easy way to create warmth, comfortable visual landscape. I agree. There's a point in time that we had, back in New York, we had a mishmash of colors in a small apartment that we lived in above her workplace. The company she worked for in New York, when she was working with, the company was called AHRC, and we worked with, or she worked primarily, I volunteered to work with her. Basically, I was on a volunteer status at a group home. And they have like little apartments attached to the group homes for the manager to live in, or a manager to live in, whether it's the manager, the assistant manager, whoever was part of the management system in the group home. And that apartment was basically a mishmash of colors, and it made it feel smaller, less comfortable, less inviting. Of course, back then I was easily aggravated by noise and slamming doors and all that fun stuff. And the reason why there was slamming doors is because the doors in the apartments were called fire doors. They're heavy duty, thick doors. And what they are is basically, if the door is not connected to the magnetic part of the system, they'll just slam closed because they're on a hinge. But basically what these doors were meant to do is if the fire alarm went off, like when we had fire drills, you'd hear all the doors start to slam, 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 because they're designed to close in and try to contain the fire in various areas so nobody would, so it would be like a fire safety device. Anyhow, that in effect of the houses were the newer ones, like the one we lived in, had interior sprinkling systems and fire alarms and fire detectors and the whole 9 yards. That in effect are hearing echoing voices throughout the halls, the hallway, easily disturbed me. And part of the problem was I was an evening worker, so I wouldn't get home until like midnight, and didn't have to worry about getting up until like 10 or 11 o'clock. But everybody else had to get up at like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning to go out and do their routines and whatnot. So yeah. But anyhow, just a little snippet of my past. Next one is get some rugs. Plush rugs invite people into a room, encouraging them to take off their shoes and stay a while. In Denmark, it's common for people to hang out on the floor making rugs, an especially thoughtful way to create a comfortable environment. Just make sure your rugs match your room's color schematics. Otherwise, the room will look cluttered and uninviting. Here in America, most of us have carpeted rooms. Now, if you have a carpeted room, that's fine and dandy. You don't, the rug thing is kind of like, why would you put a rug on a carpet? Okay, hey, that's understandable. But for those of us like myself and Jerry Ann who prefer hardwood floors, and we're trying to remove carpeting so we can have more hardwood floors, rugs are great. One of the things I learned, especially in New York where we had some hardwood floors, when you wake up first thing in the morning and you don't have a rug or something next to your bed, when your feet, especially if you don't sleep with socks on during the wintertime, I'm guilty of wearing socks all the time, which is probably not good for my feet. Getting up in the morning and your warm feet coming out from underneath the warm covers into a semi-warm environment during the wintertime, touch your warm feet touching that cold floor is a shock to your system. It wakes. It's like, I'm awake. I don't know why, but I'm awake. It's always nice to have a carpet by your bed, so you can at least get up, put your feet on a semi-warm carpet, and put your feet into a pair of cool but not freezing cold house slippers or whatnot. But let's say you have guests coming over, and a lot of guests sometimes will take off their shoes. Common practice in Asia. In Asia, before you enter the main part of the house, China and Japan, you take off your shoes. You might have your socks on, you might not. You take off a pair of your shoes that you're wearing out and about outside, and usually right there is a pair of slippers for you to put your feet into the slippers for inside. Now, I don't know if they have they have throw rugs or whatnot for various rooms throughout the house. But it's a common practice in a lot of places, like in, did we do it in Germany? I think a lot of Europeans, they'll, you can come into the main part of the house, you can come into the house, into the foyer or mud room, whatever you want to call it. There's two different, the mud room is usually where the laundry machines are and whatnot. The foyer is by the main front door. And a lot of houses will have benches. And what you do is you can go over to the bench, sit down, take off your shoes, and go about walking throughout the house. And the reason for this, for a lot of people, is so you don't track mud or dirt or whatever that's on your shoes throughout the whole house. Now, if you have carpeting, it's great to take your shoes off at the front door because Carpeting will literally absorb the mud and the dirt and the whole 9 yards, making it a royal pain in the butt to clean. Um, I know for a lot of people who are dog lovers, I'm a dog lover. Unfortunately, I don't have a dog. The hard thing about dogs or pets, whether they're indoor, outdoor cats, indoor, outdoor dogs, whatever. Well, of course, dog is going to be indoor, outdoor. I don't think you want your dog to be pooping or peeing in the house. It's a real pain to try to clean up their paws and whatnot before they go running loose throughout the house. That's why a lot of people would say carpeting is great for like your bedroom or specific rooms that the dogs don't get into all that much. But hardwood floors are 100 times easier to keep clean and maintain true clean flooring. Carpeting, on the other hand, is much more difficult to keep clean because you've got the embedded dirt and debris and whatnot that even your best Dyson vacuum cleaner or carpet cleaner or whatnot don't always get. That in fact are a lot of times people are like, oh, yeah, I see a little bit of debris here and there. I guess I should vacuum, when you should probably be vacuuming on a weekly, if not every other day basis to keep truly clean. Especially if you have certain phobias of dirt and debris or, things of that nature. Anyhow, the last one I'm going to read, because this is already a 45-minute video, is called Removing Obstacles. Move anything that is blocking a door, hallway, window, or room, or that is making it hard to move about your home easily. In Feng Shui, the ancient Chinese system of balancing harmonies, excuse me, let me reread that one. In Feng Shui, the ancient Chinese system of balancing harmonies in an environment, it is important that energy is able to be moved unencumbered through and around room. It is also with Hegi or Hugi, anything from furniture to a backpack left on a hallway floor that bars free movement in a home should be removed. Barriers of any kind, even when unintentional, create a cramped, uncozy feeling. So basically what she's saying is, if you've got, let's say you've got an oversized room that has double entry, basically one entry into from the main hall, the other entry from the kitchen, living room, or dining room area, and you decide to try to separate the rooms because you've got this one big room or one big area, by putting an L or one of those corner unit couches where it wraps around the corner, you're blocking part of the entry point into that room. So it's kind of like not a good thing. Now, me and Jay were discussing this yesterday. What makes one person feel uncomfortable may be comfortable for another person. Like the factor that I feel that throw pillows on chairs, especially big bulky throw pillows, is an eyesore. She doesn't. And she explained why. And she explained why we have throw pillows for my aunt and her friend. And I was like, okay, but do we need to have 3 throw pillows on there? I mean, I can understand one big throw pillow and one small throw pillow. Make it look nice, make it look balanced. She agreed. So we compromised. If you live alone, if you don't have a spouse or children or anybody to basically have to compromise for, you make your home feel comfortable to you, but try to make your home feel comfortable to you, yet inviting. Because how many times have you had family members come over and let's say, for instance, you have more than one throw pillow or more than 2 throw pillows on a chair, or you have more than 3 or 4 pillows on a bed for company to spend the night at, and they have to remove those pillows just to sit comfortably in a chair or lay and sleep comfortably in a bed without feeling overburdened by pillows. It basically makes it uninviting. And 9 times out of 10, when your guests leave and you go to fix up your home, you have to put the pillows back in their place and all that. It would be easier if you had, like, let's say you do have extra pillows. Store them in an armoire or a closet or wherever. Store them kind of like out of sight, but within reach to be used. So let's say we have a guest come over. They need an extra throw pillow because there's not enough on the chair for them to sit comfortably. Boom, the throw pillows are right next to them. They can easily pull one out, put it behind their back. Same with the bedroom. Oh, do you have any more pillows? I need one more pillow. I need an extra pillow because of the way they sleep or the way they lay in bed or whatever. No problem. You reach into the linen closet. Boom, there's your extra pillow. Or let's say you have a hide-a-bed. Now, not everybody will leave 2 pillows and the covers on the hide-a-bed and fold up the hide-a-bed and put it away. But let's say you do have the hide-a-bed. You don't make the hide-a-bed and leave it all together and fold it up and put it away. You take the pillows and the sheets and whatnot off the hide-a-bed to wash them, clean them, whatever. You put the hide-a-bed away, and once the sheets and whatnot are clean, you put them in the linen closet with all the other stuff. It's little simple tricks. The idea is to make your house look comfortable and inviting, not just to you, but to the general populace of your family or your friends. And let's say you have a close family member, your sister, your brother, a cousin, an uncle, an aunt, whomever, that constantly is visiting you on a regular basis. We don't have that. That's fine. So we're trying to do it by our comfort zone using information from books like this to try to make our home cozy and inviting and pleasing to everybody who lives here. The idea is to make it look good, feel good, and whatnot. So let's say you have I don't have it, but let's say you have a linen closet and you have enough sheets and you have enough extra room in your linen closet for extra throw pillows or extra bedroom pillows or whatnot. That's what goes in your linen closet. Now, my house does not have that. The original builder of this house did not think of a linen closet. Or if the closet that now has our furnace for the forced heat was the linen closet, so be it. But we have to deal. Now, you can easily, if you have the space, you have the room, or a place to put, like, you can go out and buy linen closets. Like in Germany, there was no regular closets in Germany. They didn't have closets. They had a linen closet, but they didn't have like a clothes closet. They had these units that you can buy, whether they were hardwood, permanent looking type deals, or collapsible plastic. I wish I could describe them to you, but they were these units that you put together, and they had they had a bar to hang up your clothes. That was your closet. Basically, whatever. Well, let me just read this last part. She says in here, in addition to the above hygge creating tips, there are targeted steps you can take within specific rooms to increase more home's coziness. Sorry. Here's a room by room rundown, and she literally starts going the hallway, the living room, family room, bedrooms, bathrooms, kitchen, pantry. I'm going to go through this. I'm going to go look at room by room and start reading it. And probably talk to you guys about it or tell you guys about it. But the idea of a Hagee home is basically clean looks, non-cluttered looks, bright furnishings, bright rooms. I'm trying to work with Jerry. Jerry's trying to work with me. We're trying to be on common ground on how to decorate our rooms and how to rearrange them and whatnot. And now I'm going to do a sweep of this room real quick. And Jerry's going to do a sweep of it later once we're done. Jerry's also going to do a sweep of the living room once we're done. We're going to do sweeps of the different rooms of what we're doing. The only rooms that we're not really going to be doing much in is Mom's area, because it's Mom's area and most people don't go back there. But if y'all remember how this floor looked like a couple days ago, there's a few things of mine that I got to deal with. The stool itself is in here so I can get on top of the H cabinets, pull stuff down, pull these things down, maybe adjust some stuff around the room. But there's no more bags. There's no more clutter. There's stuff underneath there that we got to deal with underneath the buffet. That area used to be cluttered and had a lot of stuff. Right now, all the stuff that you see down there that's not on the bar cart or on anything else is more garage sale stuff. I can now see the front end of my H hutch, and then that area is stuff that we got to deal with. My desk is ever changing because I'm moving stuff around still, trying to get things organized. And then, of course, all the stuff that's behind me in front of the windows. It's a work in progress. But as you can tell, if you remember some of the older videos, I did not have as much room as you just saw open to me. Because that dresser was here. It's now there. Yeah, I did that wrong. That dresser was here. It's now there. It's storage. Mostly like linens and a few other stuff. Because the big H hutch is going to be cleaned out of the glassware. The glassware is going to go into the hutch next to me. I have the white nightstand or white table looking thing is, once I get everything cleaned up over here, it's probably going to go next to me for storing drafting supplies, Dungeons and Dragons supplies, extra paper, extra notebooks, whatever. Plus the tabletop itself is going to have books and who knows what. I haven't decided. One thing I do know that's going into this room once we go to do it is it's going to have and this is my choice, not Jerry's. I even talked to her about it, and I said, you know what? I might want to take some of the stuff from your Harry Potter stuff and use it as decor, but it's going to be Harry Potter, Norse, and nature. I have wolf figurines. I have mugs with wolves on it. I have a whole lot of different stuff that I'm going to be putting in here. Some of my stuff might be going into yard sale once I go through it. I don't know. I've got some books that I might get rid of. If I don't decide to yard sell them, I'm probably going to donate them either to the local library or to my my church, or the church I used to go to. I don't know. I might keep them because who knows? Some of them I might use for reference material. Some of them I might reread. I don't know. I just know that we are making progress on our redecorating, decluttering, organizing type stuff. But anyhow, this movie, yeah, might as well call it a movie. It's almost an hour long. I'm done. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. And then later on today, I'll probably read some more of my book and use it for video material. So if you enjoyed this little, my brain is being really weird today. If you enjoyed this little chat, this little vlog, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments about this particular video, go ahead and put them in the question comment box. If you're new to this channel and enjoyed this video or enjoyed other videos of similar content, go ahead, if you have not subscribed and you choose to, if you want to, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And YouTube will, there will be a little bell that pops up, and you click on that bell and YouTube will let you know when I put in my next video. I am sorry for this ending. My mind just started going, huh? We're done? So, yeah. Enjoy. Have a good day. Bye.